One of the world's most ambitious films in recent times, Baahubali, opens to a great response. Massive rush in Hyderabad. Fans clamour for ticket. Lathi charged. We begin the broadcast by showing you Akhilesh Yadav's lawless Pradesh, that's Uttar Pradesh, where police turn into brutes the way they go after the helpless instead of hardened criminals. What you see on your television screens right now, lady constable and a police officer kicking and slapping a mentally challenged girl. Can you believe this? This is the Uttar Pradesh police for you. The girl, reported to be of foreign origin, was found roaming around the police station in Basti last night. This morning, she was presented before the sub-divisional magistrate of the area. She asked the police for help in a language they could not understand, and they started beating her up. This is unbelievable, but this is what happened at the Chhavni police station in Basti in Uttar Pradesh. Will Akhilesh Yadav explain the manner in which the Uttar Pradesh police, including a lady constable, are treating this mentally challenged victim? And I want to bring in India Today's Amir Haq for more on this. Amir, explain to us the behavior of the Uttar Pradesh police and what action is being taken.
Well, Gaurav, contrary to the impression that you and I are getting after watching these visuals, I just spoke to the Superintendent of Police Basti, who says this is in fact a good work by the police. This mentally challenged girl, as we understand, was found on the Basti highway, and the police station, the police attached with the Kant police station found her there, and they brought her to the SDM to be sent to a woman's home. Well, he says that the woman was in some kind of a trauma. She must have been abandoned there, may have been kidnapped earlier, and therefore she was getting violent in between. And therefore it was only to control that woman that the police accompanying her used some mild force. So absolutely bizarre explanation.
But this is not use of mild force. Look at these pictures, the way she's being thrown to the ground, pinned to the ground, beaten and slapped. If she is traumatized, she needs counseling. Look at this picture. This lady constable is literally stepping on her hands. Even if this girl spat at her, at that lady constable, she's traumatized, she's in pain. This just goes on to show that the police have absolutely no training in dealing with such people, Amir.
Well, absolutely, Gaurav. You're right, and this is something that has been continuously overlooked by the UP police here. Although the top brass within the UP police has been talking about sensitivity, sensitizing the police force on how to deal with victims. But, these pictures there explain enough on how much of this exercise has been of use to the police here.
Okay. Okay, Amir Haq for the moment. Many thanks for joining me. Now, these were search operations that were unparalleled in Indian history. India sets global benchmarks in search operation. We get you the first details of how that Coast Guard Dornier aircraft that was missing, it was found a kilometer deep underwater. Submarine operations were launched to find this Dornier. Non-stop 8-hour missions by a robotic submarine, a mini robotic submarine, were undertaken, and this mini robotic submarine finally zeroed in on the Dornier. Search efforts finally successful against all odds. And I want to bring in India Today's Shiv Arur for more on this story. This was one of the biggest operations, the most complex and perhaps one of the most expensive operations undertaken by the Indian Navy and the Coast Guard. Shiv, you've been speaking to your sources. Give us details.
Very tragic end. Let's first tell our viewers that it was a tragic end because ultimately it involved 3 human lives, Gaurav. But in terms of setting a global benchmark in searching for an aircraft that has been lost for over 33 days, it's making ripples right across the world. A mini submarine from a ship that was taken from Reliance, particularly for this mission, was used. An 8-hour-long operation by a small submarine just about as large as a fridge, remote controlled, went down there into the kind of visibility that nobody can imagine. Complete blackness, inky blackness, 1 kilometer below the surface of the Bay of Bengal, about 16 miles off the coast of Tamil Nadu is where, Gaurav, this particular...
When we look at these pictures, this is the location of the crash of Chidambaram.
And this is the ship that actually sent that submarine down there. It was chartered from Reliance, and what you can see on your screen right now are pictures of the debris, the small bits of equipment that were finally found. This, of course, is the submarine that spent 8 hours underwater, Gaurav. You can imagine what 8 hours at that depth under enormous pressure can actually be.
Yes.
The historic part of this, and the reason why we're actually telling this story on the newsroom, Gaurav, is because this is historic. Very few countries, perhaps only France and the United States, have actually undertaken search operations of this kind at such depths and at such sustained times, over 33 days, without actually giving up. 693 hours of surface time, 193 hours of air time, and almost 80 hours underwater, and they finally found it.
This costs money. Now, money is not important at this point of time. Precious lives were lost, but the flight data recorder, that's been recovered, and that perhaps will shed light how this aircraft just crashed.
And as you know, Gaurav, this aircraft was almost brand new. It was just 1.5 years old. The 3 men on board were very, very proficient aviators. There was absolutely nothing wrong. The weather was perfect. The aircraft was in mint condition. Nothing should have happened to that aircraft, which is why it's such a mystery. And that's why what this submarine has found today, the black box of that missing Coast Guard Dornier, holds all the secrets, Gaurav. And
that picture, that black box.
That's absolutely, that black box, which is orange in color, so the robot could actually find it. And I think the Navy and the Coast Guard are extremely disturbed at this point of time. Even though there's a sense of relief, they're disturbed about what secrets they're going to find in that particular black box. Because like I said, this is an aircraft that simply should not have crashed. So all the secrets of what happened are in that black box, which they will now be able to access.
Okay, some sense of closure for the families, but no sense of closure for the Coast Guard till they know why this aircraft crashed. Shiv, for the moment, many thanks. Let's now shift focus and let's take you to Mumbai. Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. There was a tweet about him, a defamatory tweet, and a picture that was tweeted. An FIR has been filed against the person who tweeted that picture. The question is this the correct step to have been taken, or is this punishment a bit too harsh? Our Maharashtra Bureau with this report.
The BJP has taken strong offence to a tweet that showed Maharashtra Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis holidaying with his family. It was this picture of Fadnavis that Ajay Hatevar tweeted and questioned CM for taking vacations at a time when the state is in crisis. But the BJP did not take these allegations well and filed a complaint against Ajay Hatevar, who has been now booked under Section 67 of the Information and Technology Act. This is not the first time when people have been taken to task for speaking up against politicians.
The FIR over a tweet has raised many eyebrows. The Maharashtra BJP workers are saying the sentiments are hurt on the comments made on Maharashtra CM Devendra Fadnavis, and they'll file FIRs all over the state. The opposition parties have termed this move as the abuse of power. The question to ask is whether commenting on the CM's foreign visit is indeed a crime, and if yes, why isn't the state government or the CM himself filing such complaints?
In March this year, a Class 11 student was arrested for sharing objectionable post on Facebook against UP Minister Azam Khan. In May last year, Goa-based Devu Chodankar had a complaint against him for anti-Modi comments. On October 31st, 2012, a Puducherry industrialist was arrested for comments on Twitter against P. Chidambaram's son. In November 2012, 2 girls were arrested in Maharashtra over their Facebook post questioning the shutdown in the city for Bal Thackeray's funeral. And recently, Jagendra Singh, a journalist from Uttar Pradesh, died of burn injuries, claiming that he had paid a heavy price for exposing UP Minister Ram Murthy Singh Verma on Facebook. With Mustafa Sheikh in Mumbai, Bureau Report, India Today.
The opposition in Maharashtra is up in arms, and they're alleging this is gross abuse of power by Chief Minister Devendra Fadnavis. And let me put this question to BJP's Shaina NC, who joins me on the broadcast. Shaina, welcome on the broadcast. The opposition says So, if it was a defamatory tweet, why a criminal case? This is gross abuse of power, Shaina.
Gaurav, please let me highlight the facts of this case. Number one, the Chief Minister and his family were on a private holiday 2 years ago. The person in question has used this photograph of 2 years ago of a private holiday of a family on a public forum and then suggested that he is spending taxpayers' money to go and enjoy when the state is suffering. This is not just factually untrue, this is grossly incorrect. Second, you have the same person in question from Nagpur who has used the most derogatory language for our Honorable Chief Minister.
Yes.
Something that I cannot even use on national television or even otherwise.
Yes.
To call him the parallel of his name with a F word is unheard of. Now, if you expect people to take this gross misrepresentation lying down, it's not going to happen.
Okay.
Devendra Fadnavis is an upright Chief Minister, an honest Chief Minister, and for the first time somebody
But there are so many serious issues that the state is facing, Shaina. Is this serious enough?
Absolutely.
Criminal
So what has
defamation,
transpired?
criminal defamation against the person, perhaps a clarification from the Chief Minister's
If you
secretariat,
abuse-
wouldn't that have been enough?
If Ajay Hatewar has his viewpoint, he is entitled to it. But to mislead people and say that the Honorable Chief Minister is wasting taxpayers' money on a private holiday which was 2 years ago in Goa where his family was present is absolutely factually untrue. To add insult to injury, he has used the most derogatory language. And what has the repercussion of this been? You will have followers of a mass leader, you will have followers of the Chief Minister who are up in arms because they feel that this is an absolute misleading information which is mischievous in nature. You had one of our karyakartas who went to the police station and raised objection and the FIR was lodged. Nothing beyond that has happened to suggest that the Chief Minister is even involved in this case. I just feel as an independent citizen of this country, yes, you are entitled to public scrutiny, to raising facts, but to absolutely talk blatant lies and to use such disgusting language which is unheard of for a Chief Minister who has come through a mandate based on his non-corrupt background, his absolute commitment to public life and service.
But is this the new template, Shaina,
like
is this the new template as far as the BJP is concerned? Is this the new template? Because the Chief Minister, while he was in the United States of America, he said enough is enough. I will come back and initiate criminal defamation proceedings. That was in the Pankaja Munde case. Now, is this the new template that whoever writes anything that may be against the Chief Minister of the government, it will simply be a criminal defamation case?
Absolutely not, Gaurav. You are a senior journalist. Please do your research on our Chief Minister, Mr. Devendra Fadnavis. Do an absolute check on his entire term in public life and you will know that there is no question of him ever getting into any kind of vendetta, leave alone if facts are unestablished and need to be presented to public. Is it not our right to say so? You can post any photograph of anyone and today say that, you know, this is, look at how insensitive the person is, look how he's using taxpayers' money. Do we not have the right to clarify if it is absolute blatant lies? And if you're going to use such disgusting, abusive language towards anybody, is the person not entitled to lodge a police complaint?
Tell me this, when no action was taken in your father's case, Shaina, in Nana Chudasma's case, you know, when goons came rushing in and vandalized his office, do you feel because no action was taken there, it has emboldened elements and more such stuff is coming out on social media?
That is not true factually again, because the police were extremely proactive and they registered an FIR, they arrested the 5 culprits and they did take them to task. I think the police needs to do its job. We need to applaud them when they are doing their job. We don't need to question constantly as to if there is any special status, because there isn't. This is a case where you have black and white. This was a private holiday 2 years ago. It has nothing to do with the Chief Minister's trip. which is an official delegation to the United States of America.
Okay.
There's no question of any taxpayers' money being involved, and there is nobody in this country who can get away with such disgusting, abusive, permissive thoughts and language such as what was explored in this tweet. And I would I would request you as media who is covering this story to actually show that tweet to public so that they themselves can decide if this person is just hankering after the Chief Minister for some cheap publicity or if it is factually true.
I agree with you, Shaina NC. What is written in that tweet is so disgusting, it cannot even be put out on television. Shaina NC, for the moment, many thanks for joining me here on the newsroom. I now want to shift focus and take you to Pune. FTII. Students are protesting against Gajendra Chauhan, the new chief of FTII. And now Rishi Kapoor has thrown his weight behind these students. He's saying Gajendra Chauhan should simply quit and not continue with this. That's one part of the story. What sources in Information and Broadcasting Ministry have also told India Today, Gajendra Chauhan perhaps was not the best choice, but several top-notchers had already said no, and this choice perhaps was more political than bureaucratic. Take a look at this report.
Their month-long protest has reached a crescendo, and 29 days on, their agitation is gathering momentum. The latest Bollywood bigwig to lend support to the FTII students is Rishi Kapoor, the actor advising Gajendra Chauhan to step down.
When आपकी जो openly आपको oppose किया जा रहा है, आपकी खिल्ली मचाई जा रही है, आपका जुलूस निकाला जा रहा है, तो इस बीच में मेरे ख्याल में आपको अपने आप ही voluntarily resign कर देना चाहिए.
A-listers have stood behind the dissenting students as their chorus grows louder.
बहुत efficient लोग हैं हमारी कंट्री में, उसमें से कोई भी अपॉइंट हो सकता है, बहुत सारे ऑप्शन हैं.
But I don't want to comment on Gajendra Singh as a person because that is his life. But certainly, FTI needs somebody who is much more qualified than whatever Gajendra Singh Ji's qualifications are coming across.
The clamour for Gajendra Chauhan's removal continues to echo in the political circles.
I'm studying the matter. They said कि आपने अभी तो कुछ कहा नहीं है FTI पे. हमने कहा सही बात तो ये है कि neither I have been approached by the students nor I have been authorized by the government.
After 29 days of agitation by the FTI students over the appointment of actor Gajendra Chauhan as the new chairman, students are now ready to seek legal help in the matter. A PIL might be filed against the appointment of Gajendra Chauhan and 4 other members whose credentials are being questioned.
The top appointment in the country's premier film studies institute has only led to 29 days of lingering deadlock. And with star support pouring in, can the government continue to overlook students' demands?
The international exposure has definitely boosted RAC Picker's Subhan Morris' confidence. Now she doesn't hesitate a bit while communicating with top officials like Municipal Commissioner, District Administrator as well as other officials of civic administration. With cameraman Gopal Harne, this is Pankaj Khelkar in Pune for India Today.
Many may find this difficult to believe, but the Congress party says it is running out of money. The party lost the general elections. It's been losing elections in one state after the other. And the party coffers are running dry. So what's the Congress party's strategy to tide over this crisis and once again get donations? India Today's Ashar Ahmed Khan brings you this report.
From power to penury, it's no achhe din for India's grand old party. Congress's coffers are running empty and the party is now looking within for some respite. Congress Treasurer Motilal Vora is preparing to send out a letter to all party men asking them to pay Rs 250 per month. All India Congress committee members will be asked to part with 600 rupees per month. Each party MLA will give 1 month's salary and MPs will have to cough up 1 lakh rupees every month. In addition, party functionaries have been asked to adopt austerity measures. The party has cracked down on the use of chartered planes. All secretaries have been asked to travel by train.
The 2014 elections was the Rockefeller moment when corporate India decided who the Prime Minister is going to be, and therefore people who do not back the corporate agenda like the Congress, are facing a cash crunch. And in addition to that, I guess the time has come for political parties to voluntarily offer that they are ready to become public authorities under the RTI Act.
Congress, which was flushed with funds during 10 years of power, had started feeling the cash crunch during the last Lok Sabha elections. Big donors have started going slow and shifted, sensing the changing political climate.
The Congress party is facing a serious cash crisis after a long gap. However, this crisis will solely depend on the electoral success of the party, and in the near future, that looks a difficult task for the Congress. With camera person Sandar Bhati in Delhi, Ashar Khan for India Today.